Did you realize that a massive invisible cosmic transition, one sparked by Neptune finally completing its grueling decade-plus odyssey, has just unlocked a vault of hidden gifts meant specifically for those who have remained observant, patient, and spiritually prepared? This shift did not arrive with the roar of a storm or the flash of a lightning bolt. Instead, it progressed with a haunting softness, quietly reshaping the very foundations of our reality beneath the surface of our daily lives, waiting for our conscious awareness to finally synchronize with its rhythm. Neptune is the master of the deep. It rules over our most profound gut feelings, our subconscious belief systems, and those invisible electric tides that dictate the flow of our existence. When a planet of this magnitude finishes a full cycle, it does something far more significant than simply resetting its physical orbit in the dark vacuum of space. It reorganizes the very fabric of your reality. It realigns the energetic patterns that dictate who you meet, how you feel, and how much abundance you are permitted to hold. These patterns are the primary language the universe uses to speak to us, and within the ancient lens of Buddhist and mystic wisdom, these patterns manifest as sacred numerical sequences. They are not mere luck or coincidence, but high-definition indicators of cosmic timing, spiritual symmetry, and the unbreakable law of karma. Think of these numbers as subtle, glowing flares launched from the horizon of your future, highlighting exactly when the cosmic winds have shifted in your favor. Right now, a collective intuition is picking up on a change that logic and cold reason simply cannot grasp. Have you felt it? That strange sensation that heavy burdens are suddenly feeling lighter, that certain afternoons seem to flow with an effortless golden grace. Prosperity, small wins and elegant solutions seem to arrive in your life with significantly less friction than they did just 6 months ago. This hasn't happened because your challenges have vanished into thin air, but because your internal harmony has reached a new resonant peak. This is why this specific window of time holds such immense, almost frightening power. It carries the lingering, potent frequency of Neptune's 14-year orbit, opening a brief, shimmering portal where numerical vibrations directly influence our choices, our magnetism, and our material attraction. When your mind aligns with these specific frequencies, your path becomes illuminated, and your most ambitious goals begin to materialize with a speed that might actually surprise you. True wealth is never the result of aggressive, desperate force. It is the natural byproduct of a mind that has learned to move in step with the cosmic clock. As the old saying goes, abundance is merely a shadow that follows a mind standing directly in the light. Today, we are going to decode specific digits that mirror that sacred union, fueling your success while you maintain a centered, unshakable spirit. There is also a final hidden number we will discuss at the end, a number that acts as a literal catalyst for your deepest, most private desires. But before we step into this hidden knowledge, I want you to stop. Right now. Stop the mental chatter. Stop the planning. Stop the worrying. Deepen your breathing until you can feel the air reaching the very base of your lungs. A still soul perceives truth with a clarity that a chaotic mind can never hope to achieve. If you feel this frequency hum within you, support the mission of mystic philosophy by liking this video, joining our growing community of seekers, and typing these words in the comments. I am ready to receive my harvest. Let us proceed into the first gate. The digits we are about to analyze are not magical lottery tickets for the idle or the lazy. They are precision tools for the grounded. They serve as a powerful reminder that the doors you have been knocking on, perhaps for years, were never actually locked from the outside. They were simply waiting for your eyes to open wide enough to see the handle. Under this current celestial influence, your awareness is the only key you will ever need. That first key is the number 22. You have likely seen it recently, perhaps glowing on a digital clock at 2:22, appearing on a mundane shop receipt, or staring at you from a random street sign during a long drive. The average person dismisses these moments as just a coincidence. But during these massive, long-term planetary resets, repetition is the primary mode of divine communication. The universe prefers to nudge rather than push. In our philosophy, numbers are mirrors. They reflect our current state of being back at us. 22 is famously known as the master builder. It is the architect of destiny. It doesn't promise a sudden, unearned windfall. Instead, it represents the structural integrity of a stable, intentional life. Your external environment, your bank account, your home, your relationships, is merely a 3D mirror of your internal organization. If you wish to harness this 22 energy, the method is deceptively simple but incredibly deep. Every sunrise, before the noise of the world, social media, and news can infect your mind, take 5 minutes of absolute silence. Visualize your primary objective, the one thing that makes your heart beat faster. As you breathe in, see the number 22 acting as a massive, indestructible stone foundation beneath that dream. This practice mirrors the Neptune shift. It is grounded, it is certain, and it is inevitable. At night, look back at one single victory you had during the day, no matter how tiny it might seem to a stranger. See the number 22, standing as a sentinel beside that effort. This practice aligns your subconscious with the frequency of steady, compounding expansion. If 22 keeps finding you, it is a signal from the stars that you aren't just following a pre-written path, you are actively paving it with every conscious thought. But don't stop there, because the journey deepens. Number 7 represents the terrifying and beautiful power found only in the void. Let me ask you a question, and I want you to be honest with yourself. When was the last time you experienced true, unadulterated silence? I'm not talking about a break from work where you scroll through your phone. I am talking about a total absence of digital noise, human chatter, and mental rehearsal. In our modern, frantic world, we have been conditioned to mistake being busy for being effective. We run until our gears grind, yet we end our days feeling strangely drained, hollow, and spiritually bankrupt. This is where the vibration of number 7 enters your life. 7 doesn't demand that you run faster or try harder. In fact, it does the exact opposite. It invites you to stop. It invites you to settle. After Neptune's long, watery transit, the world is naturally pulling our collective consciousness inward. The universe isn't asking for more of your sweat right now, it is asking for more of your soul. Visualize a mountain lake at dawn. There is no wind. There are 0 ripples on the surface. That absolute heavy stillness is the heart of 7. It is the proof that real authority is never loud. Real power doesn't need to shout to be recognized. When the mental static finally clears, the truth of your life rises to the surface on its own accord. Growth, contrary to popular belief, is not about adding more things, more responsibilities, or more possessions. It is about the radical subtraction of the distractions that cloud your vision. This is vital in this post-Neptune era. Wisdom is expanding, and the fog of confusion is finally fading away. These planets do not change your life for you. That would rob you of your growth. Instead, they create the sacred room necessary for you to change yourself. Most people completely miss this fundamental truth. Prosperity grows most healthily from a quiet heart. When you are steady, your choices become razor sharp. Your intuition becomes an unbreakable compass. Stillness does not delay your victory, it secures it. Look at your life right now and ask, is my current pace bringing me closer to peace, or is it just bringing me closer to anxiety? 7 doesn't offer a quick fix or a temporary band-aid. It offers a permanent tectonic shift in your mental clarity. When you embrace this quietude, the world begins to respond to you differently. Opportunities, high-level insights, and the right connections will start to find you, simply because you have finally become a destination worth visiting. Let the number 7 be your anchor in the storm. Trust the silent, ancient intelligence that lives within your own cells. Now we must discuss the spark of momentum, number 5. Have you felt that strange, restless itch under your skin lately? That nagging feeling in the pit of your stomach that you were meant for a much larger stage than the one you are currently standing on. We often spend our entire lives waiting for a perfect sign to start our real work, but the universe operates on a different logic. It only responds to movement. The frequency of radical change is carried by the number 5. It isn't a destructive storm. It is a sudden, refreshing shift in the wind that fills your sails when you least expect it. This digit marks the definitive end of being stuck in the mud of your own making. It is the frequency that shatters the repetitive loops of your past mistakes. It invites you to take the leap before you feel 100% safe. Whether it is starting that venture you've whispered about for years, or finally walking away from a toxic habit that has been draining your light, 5 demands immediate action. If you are seeing 555 or 505 everywhere, consider it a celestial green light from the governors of fate. In our teachings, this reflects the ultimate truth of impermanence. Nothing is fixed. Your current struggle is not a life sentence. This realization shouldn't frighten you. It should be the most liberating thought you've ever had. No chapter in your story is permanent until you stop writing. The lesson of 5 is simple. Your life transforms the very microsecond you decide to walk. Waiting for perfection is just a high-end form of self-paralysis. Perfection is a ghost, motion is reality. The universe only meets you halfway after you have the courage to take the first step into the unknown. If 5 is appearing, the gate is already swinging open. All that is left is your willingness to cross the threshold. But as you move forward, you must remember the wisdom of the pause, which brings us to the number 41. Have you ever noticed that the divine rarely yells? It doesn't need to. It speaks in the language of echoes, shadows, and coincidences. Following a massive heavy cycle like the one we've just finished, the messages from the beyond become even more subtle. This is the essence of 41. It doesn't shout for your attention like a salesman. It flows quietly, like an underground stream that provides life to the trees above, without ever being seen. Unlike numbers that are tied to instant gratification or quick cash, 41 focuses entirely on your emotional foundations. It is a long, cooling breath for a soul that has been running hot for too long. It is specifically for those of you who are tired in your very bones, not just your muscles. You might see 41 on a battery percentage or a house number as you walk by, and you think it's random. But in this specific cosmic window, it is a direct message. Slow down. You are drifting away from your center. True power is never measured by how much weight you can carry on your shoulders. It is measured by the wisdom of knowing exactly when to set that weight down. 41 is the sacred strategy of the pause. It teaches you that rest is not a retreat, and it certainly isn't a failure. It is a tactical reorganization of your energy. If this digit is haunting your days, understand that your next level of wealth does not require more grind. It requires more grace. When you find your internal balance, the money will naturally follow the peace. Abundance is attracted to harmony, and it is repelled by desperation. If this message is hitting home, a symbolic $5 gift through the thanks button helps us keep these transmissions free for everyone seeking this path. We then come to the architecture of the year, number 12. Think about the staggering way 12 governs every single aspect of our physical reality. 12 months in a year, 12 hours in a day, 12 signs of the zodiac tracing their path across our sky. It is the very frame of our existence. It represents the golden point, where the old cycle ends and the new one begins in perfect harmony. Time itself is built on this blueprint. The ancient elders knew that life is not a straight line. It is a series of repeating seasons. If you observe nature with an open heart, you will see that the tides do not rush to finish their work. The flowers do not compete with the one next to them to see who can bloom the fastest. Everything happens in its own perfect, unhurried time. When you finally accept this, your stress will literally begin to dissolve. In our philosophy, 12 shows us the chain of dependent origination. It proves that every single thing in your life is linked. Your current pain, your past wins, and even your moments of profound boredom are all necessary links in one single chain. When you see the link, you are no longer a prisoner of your circumstances, you become the observer of them. This realization is massive in the wake of the Neptune transition. It reminds us that alignment is infinitely more valuable than speed. A tiger in the high grass doesn't sprint at every single thing that moves. It sits. It observes. It waits for the one perfect moment to strike. That is the cold, brilliant logic of 12. You do not need to push the river of your life. When you are in sync with the universe, the river will carry you to your destination with zero effort on your part. Stay with me now because we have reached the final revelation. The final number we are about to uncover is widely considered the most magnetic frequency in the known universe. It doesn't just attract money or opportunities, it fundamentally shifts the reality you are standing in. Number 33 is the frequency of the master teacher and high intuition. Have you ever felt like a specific number was literally chasing you down the street? A text message arriving at exactly 3:33, a bill at a restaurant totaling exactly $33, or being assigned seat 33 on a plane. You might shrug it off as a quirk of math, but your soul feels the electric spark of recognition. 33 is not about luck. It is about direct, high-level guidance. It is a signal that your personal energy is finally, after years of struggle, catching up to your highest destiny. It starts with inner wealth, mercy, vision, and unshakable peace, which then inevitably manifest as outer riches. 33 is the person who leads a room not by what they say, but by the frequency they emit. Think of those rare individuals who bring an immediate sense of calm and authority to a space just by walking through the door. That is the 33 vibration. It is the doubled energy of creativity and consciousness combined. It means your personal growth is now being fueled by kindness and truth rather than ego and competition. In a world obsessed with the hustle, 33 whispers a different truth. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where your soul needs to be for the harvest to begin. Under these current planetary shifts, help does not come as a violent shove. It comes as a gentle whisper in the dark. This number is your confirmation that your path is set in stone. Even if you cannot see the finish line from where you are standing, the road beneath your feet is solid. Take one more deep, conscious breath with me. Let your spirit rest in this absolute certainty. If you feel this high vibrational energy moving through you, I want you to go to the comments right now and write, "I am aligned with my highest good." Like this video to seal this intention, and subscribe to Mystic Philosophy to keep your frequency high as we move into this new era. Remember, the universe does not need to scream to be heard by those who are listening. It speaks through these sacred patterns, these quiet coincidences, and these holy numbers, leading you back to the massive treasure that has been buried within your own heart all along. I will see you in the next video.